Here's 15 reasons why I think Alex Hormozi made $100 million in about a 24-hour span. And I'm going to talk you through some 15 different things that I think as to reasoning behind how Alex Hormozi was able to do this $100 million launch in a short time frame. And right now, at the time of this training right here, is he's done over 3.3 million book sales times 30. That's like a little bit more than 100 million, I think. I mean, I may be wrong, but here, let me actually show you the dashboard here, just so you can see. This is the dashboard that I saw someone post, and so at the time of this part right here, they were at 3.14 million copies sold, launch revenue of $82 million. AOV 694. Some of you guys will know what that means. 7,000 bundles. I'm assuming 104,000 single book sales. So some people bought it twice. That's what I'm assuming. And yeah, so launch registrants. So it looks like he got about 600,000 registrants and 79,000 people registered for VIP, which means they must have gotten a book at some degree. And the VIP was 13%, which I mean, just having these numbers, these metrics in front of you is phenomenal. And it looks like he's in front of Harry Potter now. So he beat the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and the Cursed Child, the script. I guess he's going for the Order of Phoenix. But nonetheless, I think he's just trying to push the boundaries of what's possible for everybody. And I'm going to talk through 15 different things that I thought about when we were doing this. And the reason why I'm doing these videos is simply because um, I want to remember what we're doing at the time we're doing it. And currently we do roughly about 400,000 to $450,000 a month right now, cash collected. And I'm trying to get us on the journey to do 1 million a month, 2 million a month, 3 million a month. And so I'm trying to just document the journey here. Again, this I get nothing from this, just more documentation and remembrance of how we did it. Also, I am giving away those free books of Hormozi's because I did buy it, so you guys don't have to. I'm giving away those books, and also I'll put this into a little playlist so you guys can have it, watch the whole thing from start to finish. Right now, he is actually in closing, and I'll show you here. He is in closing mode, and he's in closing mode. And so I won't, let me see if I can put this on here. I think he's gonna go all day until the car closes. So he's at 3,300, 3,300,000. Okay. And so he has kind of like a checklist at each stage, just so that everyone can see that there's a giveaway at every stage. Okay. And yeah, so that's crazy that he's doing this, by the way. I don't know if he's going to spend the next 10 hours closing, but gosh, if he does, that's the wildest thing I've ever seen. That's insane. Insanity, by the way. Insanity. Okay. It's so insane. All right. So let's get started into the 15 different things that I think Hormozi did $100 million in a day. Okay. Number one, activity, activity, activity. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Okay. Crazy activity. So let me just put this in perspective. He spent $4 million on ads in a 60-day window, meaning he was spending $2 million a month for 2 months straight, which actually, no, like I've met some people that do more than that. But the fact that you can go from like ramping up scale, like money spending like that, he said at one point he was spending $500,000 a day on advertisement, which that's phenomenal. He did 1,000 plus ads. I think he showed a screenshot of him doing 1,400 ads. That's a ton. Okay, and some of you guys don't even want to make one. The fact of the matter is, I don't even want to do one. Me even doing this video, I do one video every now and then. It's very difficult. So imagine doing 1,400 videos, ads. Wild. He had 1,700 slides. And I used to talk to my friend David about this, and we're like, man, dude, we have like 300 slides. He had 1,700 slides. All right. And so, like, that's just wild to think about the level of activity he does. And then he had 21,000 affiliates, which means he probably had to like do a lot of effort in the front end to get these people. Number two, proof. He's done almost 4,000 videos on YouTube, and the majority of them is just giving tactical advice to all these business owners and all the people, showing them what he's done. Kind of like what I'm doing, but he's doing, at scale like crazy. But again, I do something totally different. And if you ever want to support me and the channel or whatever, just introduce me to a tax professional who's already doing $100,000 a year and wants to scale, or a CPA or an EA or a financial firm that wants to scale past 100,000 to a million using tax planning. You can always do the introduction. That would be amazing. That would be your gift to me. That would be an amazing thing. Other than that, I'm just here to give value to um, the people watching this, myself, and just watch what I'm doing at the time we're doing it so we remember. Um, Number three, the power of a hook. He spent 3 years priming the pump, per se, on a hook just to say, I waited 3 years for this. Like, imagine that. There was one time a guy that was in fitness, and I was back when I was doing fitness, and you can probably see on some of the videos, but I was doing fitness, and when I was doing fitness, I was like, man, how come I can't get it together? How come I can't figure out how to make money with fitness? And I remember this guy, I remember his actual name now. Fudge, it fell apart. But there was a guy he was doing fitness, and almost overnight he's like popped off, and I was like, what? Why did he pop off? And then I remember Russell Brunson talking about this. He says, it's the power of the hook. The guy literally lost lost all the weight, gained it all back, and lost it all again just to say, I did it, and it has nothing to do with genetics. What? It breaks all like barriers of belief because people think that, oh, I have bad genetics, I can't do this, I can't do this. And so like they come up with these own theories. And so his company was called Fit to Fat to Fit. So basically he went from fit to fat, and then he went fit again, and he showed the journey and gave the roadmap. He made millions and millions of dollars. But no less, like that's what Hormozi is doing right now. The power of this hook. In fact, there's a saying that goes 80% of your marketing is spent on the hook. In fact, if I actually grabbed one of Alex Hormozi's, because he gives you an AI for the big the program sale, like the $6,000 thing. He gives you an AI, and I actually put into there what I wanted to do, and he gave me the script, like the headline, and that video is my best performing video right now, which is cool. It's got me the most views. It got me the most um it's getting me the most traction, the most views, and it's probably because he's in the launch, and so it's the algorithm's picking it up. So this is a kind of another thing, right? Just thinking through. Number four is the brand. So he's been branding and talking about his brand for the last 5, 10 years, right? And he's rarely asked for anything. And that goodwill compounds, like just doing good work for a very, very long time at scale. That's the difference. Some people do goodwill behind the scenes and never like maximize that scalability of doing goodwill. Okay. Scarcity and urgency. So this is going to line up with another thing that I've been talking about, which is scarcity and urgency. So right now he's doing a launch, and so there's natural urgency. There's a timeline to make decisions, and a launch, and I'm going to explain that in a few minutes, but a launch hints on the two biggest drivers in marketing, which is scarcity and urgency. If you can layer in scarcity and urgency, you get people's butts off seats. Okay. And that's like one of the biggest drivers that most people miss because they feel like, oh, I don't want to push people. Well, the truth is, you miss about 2/3 of the people that need that push. 1/3 of your people that you're going to purchase or going to get purchased are hyperactive buyers. And I'll probably talk about that in another training, like the 3 types of buyers or the 4 types of buyers. And so leveraging a launch allows scarcity and urgency, which are the two most powerful drivers in action taking in marketing. Okay. Number six, he follows proven marketing frameworks. The truth of the matter is, nothing he did was truly revolutionary. He used Dean Graciosi's wagon wheel approach and the livecast launch process that Dean Graciosi used to launch KBB back in the day. So I imagine they shared notes. His webinar looked exactly like Russell Brunson's webinar. So did his stack in the close, with some nuance to it, which I'm assuming Jason Flatlin helped him out with that. And then the whole launch process is a traditional product launch formula from Jeff Walker. And so a lot of these theories are not like so complex. In fact, we do these to this day. We make millions of dollars. And again, if you want the notes and stuff like that, just comment book. And you want the free book, just comment book and I'll send it over to you, or I'll send you the link so you can grab it for free. Um, and so like that's the idea here. He follows proven marketing frameworks. Number seven is he has offer alignment. I can't even tell you how many times I see people like just have fragmented offers or don't even know where the offers place into the funnel because they don't actually have a journey of a customer. They don't know where a customer is supposed to go first, second, third, fourth. Like they don't have a customer journey, period. And for us, we have a customer journey and now we have a nurture journey so that that way we can build them into customers. Before they become customers, we start to layer in how can they become a customer, and then so there's two journeys. There's a nurture journey and then there's a customer journey and then there's like an ascension retention journey. And so look, those are the journeys that if you don't lay them out in front of you, you're always going to be kind of chaotic and you're never going to know really where everything's at. And him having these in order, tremendous job, just mastery. And whether you like him or not, I mean, I like him, and most people don't like him, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not here to like his values or anything like that. I'm not into all the stuff that he does, but I mean, I see value and I love value. That's simple as that. Okay. Number eight, he has an offer at every stage of the funnel. You guys gotta understand that. He has an offer to get you to register. He has an offer to get you to show up. He has an offer to get you to stay. He has an offer to get you to pay. He has an offer to get you to pay more. He has an offer to get you to come back. He has an offer to get you to stay and pay for a longer period of time. He has an offer to get you to stay watching his videos, right? And then he has an offer to affiliate. So there's so many different offers that sometimes it can get a little fragmented, but that's the stage you would get to when you're doing $100 million a year. There's just no way, but he has an offer at each stage, right? And to be able to scale at the degree he's scaling at, you have to have massive skill sets. Like truthfully, it's a compounding skill set that you just have to move through very fast and be able to understand patterns very quickly and create patterns, right? Like you just have to understand these things, and I'll explain some more things in the future. Okay, number nine is he doesn't discount stuff. If you notice it, he tries to give more, not discount things down. And over time, that compounding effect adds to the bottom line, which gives him more aggressiveness to go back to the front and push harder on marketing. Because again, the timeless classic saying is the one who could spend the most to acquire a customer will win. And in this case, he maximizes prices, whereas other people discount their price, and that margin there is giving him that margin of error to spend a lot more on marketing and lose. And all he needs is one to win, and he would outpace the person that discounted, right? And so eventually, when you discount, you compress margins and you compress the ability to take risks, right? So you almost have to spread that margin by not discounting because naturally marketing is going to go up, right? Marketing is always going to go up unless you have some type of brand associated with it, right? Um, okay, number 10, he leveraged launch and evergreen economics. Here's what I mean. So an evergreen thing is something like a show. So think about like Yellowstone, right? Yellowstone has multiple seasons, multiple shows per season. And the first time I heard about Yellowstone, the show, it was like season 3 or 4. But had they not done season one, two, three, four, and five, then I wouldn't go back and binge watch the whole season, right? And so there's a different thing between there where you get this real deep connection with the character and you have this emotional connection with the character that's evergreen, whereas you have this launch echo where it's like compressed time, like a movie launch, right? Think about a movie right before Hollywood releases a movie, they have all this pressure leading up to the date of the release, and then they still have like these commercials playing after to continue to get people to watch through the weekend. And so that's why like Hollywood, they do weekend box office stuff because they want to see that launch echo from the time they open the cart to the time that they close the cart or not necessarily close the cart, but where that peak goes way up and then how it tapers off and how long it takes before it drops straight off the cliff. Right. And that's really what he did here. He used the both economics. He's been doing evergreen, which is the content and all that stuff daily or weekly, however many videos he does, and then he compounds that with a launch. It's the same thing Iman Gadzhi and all the big people do is they build up this little pool of pressure over here where they've been doing their talk shows, their like for an example, there's a show called Law and Order SVU. If that girl that's been on there for 25 years. If she left and helped create, like do a movie, it would draw all these diehard fans over here and pull them over here with this launch, right? Because she's been spending so much time with them, they just feel like they're a part of her. I don't remember her name, but anyways, that's what Hormozi has done. And I'm already at number 11. Naming products. If you notice that he names things specifically to solve problems, right? So it's like branding authority playbook or um, goaded ads, something like that, right? Like some weird names, but nonetheless, they are names to contain an idea or a thought or concept, right? So it's container words. So it's a name to contain an idea or concept. So you got to think about it like that. So a name contains an idea or concept, and when you package it like that, it becomes much more valuable. And you can give this and you can say something different. You can say the same thing in a different way. For an example, I could call this the Hormozi $100 million launch playbook or launch blueprint or launch review, right? And if I put that together and I wrap it up with some wrapping paper, you get a playlist, right? Like the exact playbook to Hormozi's $100 million launch, plus a free book, plus the book to implement these things, plus which strategies I'm using to get more views on this thing, how I'm leveraging momentum to kickstart or restart my videos, right? Like those kind of things here, it would help tremendously with the naming and how you perceive that value. Because if you really think about it, you really boil down what you got for the $6,000 or the $20,000, it's just information. There's no delivery, which it just tells you you have to spend much more time on the hype and the like pressure building that you do have to do on on the the I mean, obviously you have to make the product good, but you have to spend a disproportionate amount of pre-framing the people all throughout so that that way when they see and they hear it, oh my gosh, it's the best thing they've ever seen, whether it's good or not. It's how they experienced it makes the difference, okay? Number 12, offer pricing positioning. Okay. So throughout this funnel, he had $29 offers for low ticket buyers. He had a $500 offer for those in the kind of mess, like a little bit lower. He had $6,000 offer, which was the mid tier, which is the majority of the people, $6,000. And then he had an $18,000 offer for the big ballers, right? That's what he called them. Okay. And then number 13, leveraging the power of affiliates. There's more of them than there are of you. And one of the craziest things was like seeing his funnel play out and seeing how one funnel created 21,000 funnels. Like that's phenomenal just to see. Like that in itself is a feat of excellence. If I can just go back and just recreate the affiliate process, I mean, that would just in and of itself create so much buzz. Because you can talk about your thing, but when you have other like little microphones talking on your behalf, that's why the buzz around his name is so high right now because they have many people speaking on his behalf. Okay. Number 14, data, 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 data. If you don't have your math, you will get crushed by those who do. Okay. And the math determines the path. Plain and simple. If you don't know your math, you will get crushed by someone like me that does know their math. And rather than you get crushed, you might as well learn the data you need to learn. Okay. And so understanding the numbers, understanding which numbers you should be looking for, and understanding trends is so important, so impactful. Okay. Number 15, market saturation. Okay. What do I mean by that? Be everywhere all at once right before the launch. So he went on the podcast, he went on emails, he went more on ads. He just like flooded the market with so much aggression that they had no choice but to talk about him, right? And you underestimate the amount of activity you actually need to do to make this work. Okay. And I'll throw in a bonus for you since you're here still watching. Power of focus. Some people say that they're focused, but yet they got 15 different companies, they got 5 different brands, they have 6 different things going on, and they're always have their hands in a bunch of pockets. And that stops them from actually having what they need to see the results that they're really trying to achieve. And so instead of doing that, Hormozi goes all in on one thing. So it allows him to focus. And then once you can identify the focus points that can move the biggest needle, it just by saying no to this, to other things, you say yes to the main things. And so on that note, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching again. If this is beneficial, share it. That would be, that would be something amazing. That would be cool. So if not, then that's cool too. Again, this is just for me. If you guys benefit, awesome. If not, see you in the next one. Peace.